maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. My dad passed away when I was little, so I guess that's unique. We moved around a lot when I was growing up. My mom, I think I counted, we lived in 17 different homes before I graduated high school.
Dang.
And 6 or 7 of them were in Annabelle, the same town.
And Annabelle's a small town.
Yeah, Annabelle's like Fairview.
Yeah,
there's nothing there except the post office and a city park. I guess it's closer to Spring City. People go there because it's out of the way, but it's a nice area for Sevier County. Yeah, so I grew up. I had 2 younger sisters that I grew up. So my mom, me, and my 2 younger sisters got involved with school stuff. I tell Katie all the time, and she gets mad, but my wife, I didn't really excel at anything, but I could hold my own at pretty much everything. So I don't feel like I was cutting edge or bleeding edge with anything that I was doing, but I also don't feel like I was at the bottom of the barrel. So I was just kind of a C student. I was better than a C student, but kind of that average, like
right, yeah.
Whatever. But
hobbies as a kid?
I don't know. I think the only thing that I did is played sports, but I don't really know. Not until high school. In fact, that's a conversation that I have right now because our kids are so little and they're getting so involved with sports at this young age. I didn't really get involved with sports until high school. And then in high school, I played football and I wrestled and I played baseball. And then today, if I was to say that there's something that I do, I enjoy pickup basketball. Don't play it as much anymore. But then the only thing that I've kind of held on to still is probably softball or old man's baseball, I guess, because men can't play baseball anymore, but we play softball.
Right. Which it's popular in San Pete, so that's a good one to
be
involved with.
I mean, as far as extracurriculars, that, and then just business work, I've really found that I enjoy the game of entrepreneurship. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just like to compete in things, whatever the thing is, I guess. But yeah.
So no other real, like you weren't like into woodworking or anything like that? You know, nothing along those lines?
No. Took shop class. I don't think I did very good at it. Yeah, no.
Cool. And then, so after high school, you went on a mission?
Served a mission, yep.
Right after?
I worked, so growing up, like I said, it was just my mom and me and my 2 younger sisters, and so we didn't really have a lot growing up. And so a lot of the burden, at least at the time, the burden of paying for my mission fell to me. Mm-hmm. It's not squarely on me, but the bulk of it. So I waited, because back then, seeing this goes back to my memory, did we serve when we were 19 or 20?
Yeah, 19.
21. We got home when we were 20.
You had to be 19. The girls had to be 21 when we were going back then.
And now it's 18 and 19.
Yeah, because when did you graduate?
97.
97, okay. So this would have been like you went out in like 99.
Yes, yep, that's what, so yeah, mine was 99 to 01.
Okay.
The Y2K.
Yep.
End of the world.
You ended the world in Mexico, right?
That's where you served in Mexico. Puebla, Mexico, yep. Okay. We bordered the Mexico City East Mission.
Nice.
Yeah. So I served there. And then when I came home, I went to SUU to college. And that's where I met Katie, my wife.
But you had already started entrepreneurial things by this time in your life.
So in college, when I got back from my mission, I got sucked into the door knocking, alarm sales.
Because that's every missionary gets approached at least with that.
In Utah, yeah, it's common. So yeah, I guess I would say that was because after high school, when I was working to save money to go on my mission, I roofed. I was a roofer.
Oh, okay. And
so I roofed for that year and a half, however long it was. So yeah, just hard work. I wasn't
like, I've done every roof I ever want to do ever in my life ever again.
Well, it's different than Dan, because Dan does home roofs. This company I worked for, we did commercial roofs. So like Walmarts and like schools.
Oh, like flat
tops. So the big flat roofs with the white membrane. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're more screwing down the insulation and then laying out the rolls and then welding them, heat welding them together.
Heat welding them, yeah. Okay.
So it was more that kind of.
That's actually better, I think.
Yeah, it was fine. And I worked for a company out of Salt Lake, but because I lived where I lived, I was already traveling. And so I was the crew that they sent everywhere. So I was like, we would do Cedar City and we were in Vernal a lot for whatever reason. But yeah, anytime that they had a job that wasn't in Salt Lake area, they would send me and my buddy, because I worked with my buddy. It was his uncle, I think, that we worked for.
Gotcha. Okay, so troop roofing up to your mission, then after your mission, you got into sales.
Yep, door-to-door sales alarms. We did that for almost 10 years or 10. I think I did it for 8 seasons, 8 summers or 9, and then I had a gap.
I was going to say, it seems like there was a gap where, like that was when you moved here.
Yeah.
Was during the gap, then you went and sold again, right?
Yeah, because when I met Katie, we got married, and we were at that stage of our lives because we were both single. Obviously, you don't have anything holding you down. And we were talking about wanting to go visit someplace, and Alaska was on the list. And I was like, oh, let's go visit Alaska before we move home or do whatever we're doing. And then that's when the light bulb went off. I was like, well, I've sold forever, and there's an office in Alaska. Why don't we go sell? We can spend the summer instead of just a couple weeks. And instead of spending all of our money, we'll make some money. Anyway, so that's kind of after that gap year, we did Alaska, and then the year after that, Katie got a taste for it. She's like, "Oh, this is nice," because she got to stay
and travel and look at things,
travel and see different places, and sit at the pool while I would be out working, right?
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh, let's go somewhere else." And so then we went to Hawaii the next year, and then we called it quits after that. I actually would have gone another year because they opened up an office in New Zealand.
I was just going to say, it's too bad there wasn't an office in Guam or something.
Yeah, I was like, New Zealand. I was like, hey. So I contacted the manager, but they were wise to the summer sales guys. They're like, well, you got to commit to a year. I was like, oh, I'm not interested in committing to a year.
Yeah.
And so we didn't end up doing that. But then we moved here and started Katie had been doing her photography in the off season, and it was growing.
And during the off season, you didn't live in Stampede. Where was it? Cedar City?
So I had a house. We lived in St. George when we got married.
Okay, I knew it was somewhere south. I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, so when I was on my mission, my family moved. My youngest sister graduated high school when I was getting ready to come home, and then my family had moved to St. George. So when I was coming home, in fact, I had my flight to come home to come back to Annabelle. And then I got notified that they had moved to St. George, so they had to change my flight to St. George.
Notified that your family moved?
Yeah.
That's how it was on a mission, though, back then at least. That's how it was.
I know, yeah. How did they get the communication? Because it wasn't like email or calls like we do now.
Yeah.
It was like you'd write a letter, and it would take a month, the pouch.
Yeah.
It would take a month or 2 weeks at least to get to you, and then respond 2 weeks. So it's like a month turnaround time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'd read the response from the last time, and everything had changed.
Right.
So you're like, oh, I forgot that happened. Now with email, it's like, dear mom and dad.
Yeah,
and instantly know.
Aubrey's like, she gets to call home every birthday, and she's got a big family, so she's like calling home all the time.
Oh yeah.
It's
different.
It is different. What was your favorite part of Mexico about serving? Like the time you served there. I know you've been to Mexico a bunch of other times, but favorite part about serving in Mexico?
On my mission?
Yeah.
I think the mission, so that's the first, like you live at home, right? And then you're under your family wing, right? Like you don't really have to make decisions for yourself. You don't really have to think other than this is the thing you're doing, so go do the thing. You're now doing this sport, so go do this sport. And these are the things that are involved with going to this sport. So mission's like the first time that you're really out on your own, right? And I don't know, either growing up or how I assumed all missionaries were, meaning that they were trying to be obedient and trying to work hard and trying to further the work and do all the things that in my mind a missionary was doing, right?
Right.
And then I get out there and I find out that missionaries are like everybody else. Some are better than others, and some are...
You got that one companion on PDA that turns on regular music and is cleaning the apartment with regular music playing. Yeah, or the ones that are looking for shortcuts or, oh, we don't need to leave so early or whatever. Right. And so for me, my biggest takeaway was just I realized about myself that I like to work. And in fact, that was the thing that got me the most in trouble on my mission, is because I didn't necessarily... If I was teaching the discussion and it was curfew, I would continue teaching the discussion past curfew. Right. And I don't know what it is about my mission president or my APs, but there was multiple times that they would catch me or be waiting for me at my apartment coming home after curfew. And where were you, Elder? I was teaching. And so I kind of got branded this, I don't want to say rebellious. I don't know if that's fair, but just kind of, and I think part of the problem was my mission had gone through, some of my companions had gone through 2 mission presidents before my mission president. Okay. So they were on their 3rd mission president. Right. So the mission was kind of unruly. I mean, that sounds bad, but it just needed to be more organized or regulated better, right? Yeah. So my mission president came in as that guy.
And so he was very letter of the law. His favorite scripture was when Adam gave sacrifices to the Lord and the angel asked him, why are you giving sacrifices? Adam says, I know not, save the Lord commanded it. He's like, just be obedient, elder. Like that was always his, because I'm out teaching. He's like, and he'd bring that up and he's like, be obedient. I understand now looking back, like what he was trying to do and wrangle everything in. But I feel like I was the one that was still kind of pushing back against that because I wasn't trying to be disobedient.
Yeah.
I was trying to do my work, do a good job, and work hard.
Yeah.
And anyway, so as far as favorite thing, I don't know if there's a favorite, but as far as thing that stuck out to me, it's like just work. Yeah. And it's carried over into now. It's the same conversation that I have with other people. Why do you work so much? Or why do you work? And I'm like, because I like it. I feel like that's what we're here for. We're built to work. Like, what's the alternative?
Well, and you married into the perfect family because the Andersons always say family time is working time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always known that. You think about as a kid growing up, your whole existence is to like try to make your parents proud. Maybe not the whole existence, but a little kid is always looking up to mom or dad. Mm-hmm. Like, did I do it? Look, dad, look. They try to make you proud. Then you turn into your teenage years. Now it shifts kind of from your parents to, okay, how am I going to fit into the social norms with my friends? And you kind of care more about your friends. But realistically, that's like 20 years. And then after that, you're supposedly out of the house, at least in the culture that we have now, which we'll talk about that if you want.
Right or wrong, yeah.
But that's kind of the way that it is now. It's okay, you've graduated, now you need to be out on your own, provide for your start a family, blah, 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 all this other stuff. I don't know why, but from it early on, I just kind of realized that the most people, the people you spend the most time with are the people you work with. Because from like 20 till you can pretend you retire, but retirement, anyone that says they're retiring, it just, to me, that's a red flag of they're just doing something they don't like doing. They're counting down the days until they can stop doing so that they can really focus on what they're doing. And they don't call that work, they call it retirement, but it's still work, right?
Yeah.
So the bulk of your life you're going to be spending, and I've always tried to, my perspective is changing a little bit, but it's always been, if you are forced to be with people, why not choose the people that you're forced to be with?
Right.
Why not try to pull people that you like being around into your work circle? Because that's where you spend all of your time.
Yeah.
You can look at normal families like, I can't go to your play today, sweetie, because I got to work, right? You're being tugged from your family by work. And so you try to figure out, okay, when I'm not working, your family gets your time. But then where does that leave everyone else? Like your immediate family, we'll see you on holidays. Or your friends.
It's every other year.
Yeah, it's just hard. So that's kind of been my focus. So you say with the Andersons, work time is family time. I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. It's where we're spending our time together. Let's figure out how to work together. And then now, instead of trying to figure out how to spend time together, you're just together because you're working together. You're building something, whatever that is. And I say work, people think that means you're trading dollars for things. That could be one definition of it, but it doesn't have to be. Stay-at-home moms, right?
Yeah.
Work harder than probably anybody. It's still work.
Yep. Yeah.
But it's we have these shortcut words, which we say a word and then we assume that we're talking about the same thing, and sometimes we're not always talking about the same thing, but I feel like work is the point.
I feel like anybody who knows you knows that your ideas of work and social norms for what professional life is like knows that that's not how you treat professional lives. You don't look at it, it's a 9 to 5 and it's at an office and you're going to do these things and stuff. The dream or the nightmare, however you want to look at it, of what we've been fed for so long in America as you get an office job and you work, the set hours and you get the set money and you come home and you have the set time with your family and the set retirement and all that stuff. That's not the case. That's not the case for anybody ever.
That's not been my case ever. And I work for free a lot.